How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be explaining a variety of things. The main focus is going to be using a showdown glitch. It's not really a glitch, it's more of the way the game is coded, and I'll get into that a little bit later. The primary focus of this video is going to be pretty much how to complete the World Baseball Classic program in the fastest way possible. And you notice I'm at the front screen of the game. I scrolled down to the Moment tab, I clicked it, it's under Quick Play. And then I would go to the World Baseball Classic Moments tab right here and complete all of these, 35 moments in total. But this is going to give you about 70 program points along the way. And that's kind of where I ended up, 2 per moment. And then we'll kind of get into the showdown glitch, or actually the glitch in the coding. They coded this in the way they wanted to. But the other game modes within MLB The Show do not function in this exact way. So I wanted to show you this. I have done this probably more times than I can count. So we're going to go into the single player modes tab within Diamond Dynasty and select Showdown. You're going to go all the way to the right to the World Baseball Classic Showdown, and you're facing Camilo Doval. He's a right-handed closing pitcher, so I'm going to draft a bunch of lefties and guys that I personally like to hit with, guys that have high power attributes against right-handed pitchers. You are going to get about 7 of these players and then 2 perks. If you decide to play a couple of the showdowns early on, then you will be able to add some players to your squad that you won't be able to use in ranked, but you will be able to use them for this showdown run. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to skip to the final boss. There's, I don't even know how many, but some of the early showdowns early on only give you 1 run towards the final score. In this particular situation, you're down by 14 runs, so you have to score 15 runs in order to beat this, and you have 20 outs to work with. So I'm going to use kind of a strategy here in order to skip all the way to the end, score 15 runs against Camilo Doval on veteran difficulty in 1 shot, and just beat it 1 out of 8, mission successful, trying to earn those 25 program points for the World Baseball Classic program. So as you can see, I am going to kind of set up my perks right here. These perks are important. You want to try and get something that increases your contact or your exit velocity with certain situations. You don't want to pick anything other than something that boosts your hitting, because you're only going to hit in this type of mode. If you've never played this before, it's basically a situation where you're facing 1 pitcher. There are obviously 9 fielders out there, and the runners do not reset. So when you get 3 outs, or 3 outs in a row, let's say, with guys on base, they're going to stay there. And that is part of this next strategy that I'm going to explain. And I didn't really get off to the best start here, and it's not really the best that I have my face cam on the screen because I'm blocking the scoreboard. But we already have 18 outs remaining here. We started off with 2 guys that got out right away. The biggest thing in this mode, especially because we're facing a closing pitcher, is to take as many pitches as possible. You want to get the pitch count up, so that way the pitcher loses his energy. And that's really important when scoring runs in this showdown mode. Another thing you want to do is just basically focus on singles until you score 8 runs. The reason why I say that is because you can automatically take second base. You can steal the base. They won't throw the ball. I'm going to do it right here. And another thing, if you want to steal only 1 runner, you aim the left stick towards the runner. So I'm aiming it towards the right, and I'm pressing the steal button, which is L2. Now you will be able to steal every base successfully without a throw until you are losing by 6 runs. So that's why I said until you score 8 runs, then they'll start to hold the runner, and you will be thrown out if you're stealing with guys that have, under 50 speed and things like that. But now we're trying to just focus on cashing those runners in. The reason why we don't want to have guys on first is because the runners don't reset. We can hit into a double play at any time, and that is the worst thing possible when you're trying to skip to the end of a final showdown. If you can get your runners to second and third base and sacrifice your outs for runs, then you will be successful in doing this method. Now, it does take a very experienced, skilled player in order to complete this method, so I don't think every single person out there can do it. But if you're practicing enough and you maybe get a little luck involved, right? Not all of these base hits are great, And then on the flip side, sometimes you square the ball up really well and it's an out, right? You hit a perfect line drive right to someone, or even just a good fly ball to the warning track. You'll see that a couple times. But the reason why you want to try and avoid double plays is because that is what's going to bring the pitcher's confidence up. I mentioned the stamina and the energy meter earlier on. Right now, Camilo Doval is at 26 pitches, so his stamina is kind of at the midway point. I'm really trying to get it up to about 45 to 50. In that range, he should be completely out of stamina. But the other important factor is the confidence meter. Once you're scoring, runs, especially hitting, 2-run, 3-run shots, trying to get these base runners on, you're stealing them, you're sacrificing your outs for runs, that's going to dwindle down the confidence meter, allowing that PCI to enlarge. You'll see that as I'm playing throughout this showdown, the PCI is gradually getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I also have those boosts to help with the exit velocity, so even if I hit the ball, it still might go out for a home run. There's a lot of strategies, and you kind of have to play towards your play style as well. Sometimes I'll bunt to move the runner over because now I have 8 runs, so I want to try and avoid as many double plays as possible. I have 9 outs to work with, and it's 14 to 8 right now, so I have to be extremely careful. I really didn't want to bunt with Ketel Marte. It's my best hitter in my lineup, but you are given 2, bronze or common guys. You might find a guy or 2 on the bench that might have a little bit of speed. You can pinch hit or pinch run. It depends on if you like the matchup. I found one guy on here. What was his name? Blake something. A lefty with 40-something contact, and he had 72 speed. But I used the right-handed hitter they gave me the first at bat, and I didn't really like his swing as much, so I pinch hit that other guy, and he happened to have a much better swing. Picked up 2 base hits in this showdown run for me. So those are just the little things that you kind of have to figure out as you go. I didn't even build my lineup, right? I just kind of hopped right into it. Typically at the beginning, I would add the perks and then try and adjust my lineup to the way I would want it. But actually the computer kind of set up my lineup pretty good here anyway, so it worked out. But we are able to kind of continue hitting some home runs. After narrowing the deficit to 6 runs, it's important that you kind of try and keep the ball in the air, especially if you get guys on. Those double plays will really hurt you 2 outs at a time. And the reason I'm saying avoid double plays so many times is because as this is progressing, I'm trying to become more aggressive at the plate, because he's like 67 pitches into this showdown right now, and he has no energy at all. So I'm surprised this perfect fly ball with Ketel Marte did not go out for a home run. But at the same time, I still have 4 outs to work with, and we still have a shot. So we got Yohan Moncada up. He's 3 for 3. He had a home run earlier, and that was the biggest hit of this showdown right there. A 3-run missile to tie it. But now that it's tied, I don't have those perks activated. Those perks were only activated when I am losing. So I really have to clutch up here. We have 3 outs remaining, and I got a guy on base, so I could probably bunt towards the first base or the third base line and advance him to second. But it's also Corey Seager, so I'm going to try and power swing. Sometimes power swinging in this mode can be a little bit risky, but you're playing on veteran. And just like that, we were able to complete the showdown in 1 mission by skipping all the others. As you can see here, we unlocked 2 95 overall World Baseball Classic cards by doing that. That is because I completed the moments first. If you just jump right into the showdown right away, then you'll probably be able to earn some of those 90 overall packs that you earned before these 95s. You can get about 12 diamond cards by completing the missions and the showdown, and then once you complete the conquest, you should be able to get up to those 97s, or maybe that first 97 overall World Baseball Classic, the player from Japan. But for this one right here, I'm going to go ahead and select Paul Goldschmidt and Patrick Sandoval. I think that will be my first pick for this choice pack, and then my next pick, I think I'm going to go with either Nolan Arenado and Camilo Doval, or I might actually take this Harry Ford card, just because a catcher is hard to find, especially a pretty good one at this point in the game cycle, and I need one for the event as well. There is a 97 overall catcher World Baseball Classic card that I could probably buy for like 15 to 20,000. But you are able to get all of these cards eventually, so it doesn't really matter who I pick right this second. But if you're a no money spent player and you're trying to build your team, this is the best thing to do, along with the Negro League storyline moment grind. That allows you pretty much, an entire team of diamond players over the course of a few hours. This run in this video in itself took me about 2 hours to complete. I would say about an hour and a half for the moments, and then maybe about 20 minutes for that showdown, give or take. I was taking some breaks. I wasn't trying to really speed run some of the moments. A few of the moments I had to restart. But the next thing, once you get these Baseball Classic cards, you're going to want to add them to your squad, obviously, and then hop into the Conquest mode. I'll show you that real quick. But the reason why you want to do this is you're trying to complete two things at the same time. You're going to be earning parallel XP, which is some of the missions to go along with that program, and that is going to give you more program points, as well as completing this Conquest map, which is very easy. It only requires 6 games. You only have to play the games that have a logo depicted on the map. As you can see, that is called the Stronghold. This is kind of like a board game based mode. I've always liked Conquest. I've never really gotten into it the last couple of years. I used to play this mode so much that I kind of burnt myself out a little bit, and I just didn't play it as much the last 2 years. But basically what I'm trying to do is expand the amount of fans and reinforcements that I have. Those are the different kind of phases that I'm skipping through here. As you can see in the bottom left, I had 5 million. I'm trying to stack one particular territory and move out to try and take more territories. The more territories you have, the more fans you're going to be able to add on. And then once I get to an actual place that would require either a game or a simulation, I'll show you that. It's going to be right here as I'm moving towards the San Francisco Giants. You can pick any team, but I'm not actually going to play any of these games other than the Stronghold matches. So I could pick a difficulty there. I could play the Giants at their home stadium, and these are 3-inning games. But I'm going to simulate all the way up to their logo, and then try and add as many fans as possible on that spot and play them on, either veteran difficulty or rookie. The more fans you add, you kind of have to have like a 2-to-1 ratio, then the lower the difficulty will be. With that being said, I'm at 95 program points in the World Baseball Classic program. That was a lot of information, but I'm trying to help you guys grind as fast as possible and use your time efficiently. I'm College Lefty, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.